Hello YouTube, Remo here. So up until this point, I've discussed spirituality, I've discussed psyche and soul and what this channel is for. Now I want to get a little bit deeper into my own brand, my own metaphor and image of inner empire, which is simply put, building yourself up and building up this what I call soul-led agency. So taking direction, taking guidance, building discernment from your deepest parts of yourself, what you truly feel are you, your essence, your being, your mission, and maybe your particular taste, your voice, and what you want to do with this time that's been given to you on this planet, in this body, in this life. So where do I begin? All right, let's begin from my kind of beginning, my journey and story. I had this vision and this image of inner empire came to me around 10 years ago, starting to study psychology, doing psychotherapy and spirituality. It really began with the image of home, this kind of archaic, archetypal sense of home, that there is a place for me, that I fit somewhere where I can serve the most, where I can feel at home the most. And it's not so much a place, rather context and environment and the way of being and relating and maybe concrete actual relationships as well. So this kind of what Bill Plotkin calls this ecological niche, socio-ecological niche, this place for us to be where we feel most at home, the happiest and fulfilled, as well as where we fit most for the ecology, for the society, where we can do most. It's similar to the concept of ikigai, but I think it's less abstract for me. So, I haven't felt at home on this planet in this time. When I was younger, I felt that I came here with a purpose and with a mission to build one, to build a home. And it started out with this seeking of a home, this kind of inner question of, where do I feel at home? What makes me feel at home? Whether it's certain people or places or elements, the environment, or food, smells, activities, what is that makes me feel more at home, more content, more at peace, more free and relaxed. And just working on myself, discovering different things. I then started to take it into more of a social context, more of a community thing. So it started out as an intuitive seeking of what feels like home for me. Where do I feel at home? In what context and what kind of, activity, mapping out where I feel most at ease and creative and open. And then how do I cultivate this in a community setting or between friends or in my relationships? At one point, I went into university doing my master's in transpersonal psychology, and then I had this pull, this feeling of wanting to look even deeper into myself and gather myself together from throughout the years of what I've been doing, what I've been discovering. So I had almost 10 years of traveling, experiencing lots of things, doing all sorts of projects, jobs, festivals, hobbies, activities. And I noticed that I've been journaling, for like 15 years. I noticed that there were these peak experiences as well as spiritual or mystical experiences, as well as these states of being that I went into, whether in a certain activity or experience, or while writing about something, or going into a state of flow and creativity. These are quite profound things I write then, and they have a certain resonance and ring to me. And I thought that these are pieces of me just scattered throughout the pages, throughout my life. That what if I collected these pieces and put them together in one kind of work or piece or picture, that maybe I could actually construct a sense of being. And this sense of being is the inner empire, or at least the grounds of it. And it's something that I've now come to call the second soul, which is taken from the idea of second brain. Instead of having to hold ideas in your mind, in your brain, just carrying them around, you can use programs, notes, diaries, journals to write them down and then have them somewhere when you need them, instead of having to memorize them and them constantly taking up space in your mind. So the same idea, but for the soul, instead of having them scattered around across canvases, whether that's creative pieces or writing or some kind of experiences, relationships, I could gather them together to form one coherent picture, and through that picture see what it is that has pulled me, where I feel most at home, at ease, open, creative, all these things. And that's what I did. That's what I did my thesis on. And I also looked into other people's experiences to form kind of a context for it as well. What am I really looking at here? What am I studying? And that's how this idea of inner empire formulated for me and the second soul. So by constructing this or gathering this second soul from different artifacts or canvases, from different flow states and then visions we've had, as well as insight, whether that's in certain activities or with certain people, there are these resonances and states of being and kind of artifacts or lighthouses that we experience along the way. And I think we can extract from this our essence, our true self or higher self, and use it to then gather vision and get direction in life. It's kind of so my title for my thesis was From Maps to Compass, and that's the idea. Like, first we are gathering or drawing these maps of ourself, of the world, but if we have enough of these, I think we can get intuition or intuitive feeling from them, which is then our compass that helps us discern choices in life and then direction, where are we heading, where are we going, and then what pulls us, what moves us. So that's what I'm trying to give to you, what I'm trying to build for others to get value from, and to bring soul into this world, to get direction and inspiration from the soul that is like a well of inspiration and creativity and direction and meaning and purpose. So I have these kind of pointers that I can share that have helped me, that I also learned from other people, that has helped them discern and really find themselves and build this authenticity and their voice and mission. Also, I'm going to share one diagram or a picture or a symbol that for me just gathers everything that we are made of. So it's inspired from Michael Daniels' model that I have used before about ego expansion and our growth. But instead of looking at our growth and expansion, we're looking at what has informed us, what has made us. This is the image. This is what I also abstracted from my research and kind of intuition, what has informed me in my journey, in my path, in my becoming. So in the center, this is our being, essence of us, and our particular sensitivity is how I call it. It is our filter, the filter that we see and experience the world through. And this is what I explained in the last video, saying that yes, there is the everlasting, eternal now, this present moment, this unfiltered experience. But the thing is, it's almost never unfiltered for us in life. These are the most profound, special, and blissful moments, or maybe even not always blissful. In emotional sense, it could also be in the other extreme, but there are these moments of raw experience, but they are so rare. They're like, 0.001% of our time here. Mostly we are filtering our experience, and for a good reason. That's what our brain is built for, is to filter experience, filter noise in terms of our goals, even our simple goal of survival. It takes so much filtering to keep us alive, because reality is so complex and rich. But anyways, we have this particular filter, our worldview, and that has been built over time through our experiences, through our traumas, through our successes and failures, through all of our learnings, meeting other people, meeting this world, meeting ourselves. And so I have kind of two layers. One is the top layer, one is bottom layer. The top layer, the branches on the tree. This is more abstract, more related to the soul part in my worldview or model. And this is our dreams in both senses of the word, what we dream about, what stick with us, our dreams that we pursue, as well as the dreams we receive at night while dreaming. Also attractors that many spiritual traditions or Carl Jung talk about, something that pulls us forward, our interests closely related. Why do these particular things interest us instead of the millions of other things that could interest us? The questions, and I mean not just about reality, although those as well at certain points of time, but these kind of burning questions, the questions that we live, that there isn't a simple answer to, these guiding questions or pulling questions or pushing or even plaguing questions that we have, as well as the visions we've received in different avenues, different experiences, insights, our particular insights, and maybe places that pull us. I think we do have these, not just environments, but actual geographical locations that also have a pull on us for traveling, for living, for all these different even periods of life, as well as something that's, I guess, really informative and then good to consciously look at, which is our heroes or idols or the people we admire. And it's really good to kind of analyze that or look into that. Why do these people, or why does this person invoke a sense of admiration in us? What is it that they're doing? What kind of qualities do they embody, or what kind of life are they having that pulls us, that we want? Spells is another word. I would say that's basically enchantment or certain quality to experiences, but I won't go into that. That's for another day. These are the more spiritual kind of attractors that pull us towards our potential, our realization, or our self-actualization or individuation that Jung talks about. And on the bottom layer, this is in short our lived experience, our embodied experience that informs us. So that's all the kind of trauma we've had, all the experiences, all the pain and suffering, the challenges that we've faced in our lives, what we have inherited through our genes. We can talk about intergenerational trauma, we can talk about traits, we can talk about personality. So this is all our upbringing, and also I have included the projects we have done, kind of arenas or schools we have put ourselves in, and all the learning that comes with that. And then this is our roots, and then there's the kind of under the roots, there's even the deeper layers of ground or humus that we are kind of informed and made of, which is our overall human experience on this planet, our cultural heritage and the intergenerational trauma. And this is kind of motivating us, pushing us to secure our survival, to have a certain autonomy and freedom and choice and sustenance in life. And the upper part is about inspiration. What do we want to realize? What do we want to build in this life? Or where do we want to go? Or where do we want to lead others or the world towards? So that's my model for the making of our being. So this is in short my view of identity and then how we are made in a psychological sense, in a soul sense, psychospiritual sense. And when we start to look at it and discern and process all of this experience and information, we can start to consciously arrange ourselves, to transform ourselves and build this inner empire, our structure, our core, our second soul that we can draw inspiration from and use for guidance in life. And we do have these canvases that reflect ourselves, that reflect our essence. Also, there's so much I could talk about from my thesis of looking into not only my experience but also others' experience, and this is what I'm aiming to build on this channel and in my brand, is these courses, these processes and then games that people can go through themselves to build this inner empire and to construct this second soul, to really see and then connect with themselves and then see what they're made of, and to get the sense of purpose and clarity and vision in this life. I will go deeper in the next video, so I'll keep some for that. Let's just say that there's so much interesting stuff out there in terms of human experience, regarding soul and spirituality and reality. Yeah, it's hard to fit that all into one model, so I'll take it step by step. So again, thank you. I hope you got something from here, and I hope to see you again in the next video. And if you feel so inclined, you can write in the comments what has informed you. Is there something that's missing on this model that you would like to add, or that you feel has made you that's missing here in a more like technical sense? As well as feel free to ask any questions, or just share any kind of resonance that you had, or any insight. So thanks again, and hope to see you in the next one.